Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the VBL. It's season 17. The draft is starting tomorrow. But on today, Wednesday, the 17th of September, I'm going to put in my pick for round one. I was thinking of a couple things for my first pick. Obviously, we're doing restricteds this season. Restricteds are in pools of 8. Regular Pokemon are in the pools of 32. So there is value in picking a regular guy first, because it'll be harder to get them on average. But I'm going to go with a big restricted for my number one pick because they're fun. When do you get to use those? Not very often. So there are 4 that I was looking at, and I'll start from the least likely to go to the most likely, what I'm ending up choosing. Least likely was Calyrex Ice. Cool, big, bulky mon. Honestly, pretty good move pool. Nice spread attacker with Glacial Lance and auto scaling from the the other Nay, the Cold Nay. Pretty cool. And it can hold an item, and it can Terrastalize. But I'm not going to go with that one. Third pick was going to be Terrapagos. Also, pretty cool mon. Has good spread damage, unresisted spread damage, and also inherently counters other people Terrastalizing. So pretty cool there. But I don't want to have a Terra Hog that I have to click every single time because that's just going to get a little boring and predictable. Number 2 was Zamazenta Crowned, the good one with the big shield. That one's pretty cool. Has an okay-ish move pool, but has just enough to be like a solid, consistent thing week to week. On the few games of Showdown that I've played for the double restricted format, I always have Zamazenta on the team. Just a reliable workhorse, and I love body press. It's so cool. And having a thing where you can just invest in the defense and get stab body press is so cool, so fun, such a good use of stat points. But the thing I'm going for, also downside to Zamazenta, can't hold an item, but it can Terrastalize. So the big boy I'm going for cannot hold an item and cannot Terrastalize, but I think it's worth it. I'm going to go for Primal Groudon in round 1. It's 30 points, the most restricted thing, or the most expensive thing on the board. I think tied with Miraidon, maybe. Has to hold the red orb, can't Terrastalize, but it doesn't need to. It's Primal Groudon, baby. It has so many numbers all over the place. 180 attack, 150 special attack, permanent sun, and I mean, the only things that override are Kyogre and Rayquaza, which I have 10 other team slots to deal with, and I'm not even guaranteed to see those. So I think it's a pretty good pick. Super strong, super versatile. Fire and ground are incredibly important attacking types that if I just pick the best fire and ground type in the game, might as well cover those bases right off the start. So Primal Groudon is a super powerful pick. I think it's a great thing to go round 1. I'm willing to pay basically as much. I'd go up to like 45 points for that thing, which isn't even an option. So I'm just going to put 30 up to 10 and then put something cheap as the backup in case it gets flinched and I have to go to round 2 of bidding for Primal Groudon. So that's kind of where we're at. Primal Groudon round 1, backup. Alrighty, for my backup to that round 1 pick, I'm going to put Baby Zacian, probably, because he's super cheap, like 5 or 6 points, I think. Gets a nice auto boost +1 on the first switch in, which is awesome. Fairy goes really good with ground, we all know that. That one can Terrastalize. Its move pool is pretty bad, but like it gets the job done. And importantly, it gets Howl, which is pretty cool. 138 base speed, Howl next to Primal Groudon. Sounds very threatening and not fun to go up against, so I might as well be the one to do it. So that's that. I will see you all probably tomorrow or the next day, or sooner if I change my mind. Later. Hello everybody. It's now several days after the draft is done. I have not gotten around to editing these videos together to make the draft review, but I'll do that this weekend. And realized I was going back and watching the little clips just to make sure I had everything, and I realized I do not have everything. I forgot to record a section on my number 2 pick, Hisui Lilligant, so I'm doing that now. Hisui Lilligant is really good to pair with Groudon. Obviously you have the Chlorophyll and Desolate Land synergy, so we got super fast Lilligant, and I think Hisui Lilligant pairs better than a regular Lilligant, specifically because it learns to move Coaching, because it's a fighting type. Super cool. So you can use that to just stack up Groudon's attack and defense to the moon. I mean, they're already like some of the best stats in the game, but after a Coaching, they are just bonkers. So you do that, you click Precipice Blades, and everybody's happy except for your opponent. So you have that. You can click Sleep Powder, just like regular Lilligant. You can do After You Eruption, just like regular Lilligant. And you can get Pollen Puff, which I didn't know Lilligant ever had in its move pool, so that's pretty sick. I'll definitely be using that. But yeah, Lilligant Hisui is probably the best Chlorophyll pair with Primal Groudon IMO. Obviously Jump Up's faster, but it's not always about speed. Sometimes it's about some other stuff too. So that's pick number 2. I'll see you And when I say you, I mean me from the past for pick 3 here in a second. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're in the middle of a busy pizzeria. I didn't get a chance to record an update for round 2, but here's round 3 coming in. We put in Diancie for our pick, +6 to get it. It's good because it's another guy who's weak to water who the Primordial Sun can get rid of. Hooray! Also says Trick Room deals with the flying types that Groudon and Lilligant have issues dealing with. And I love Diancie. It's been so long since I got to use it last. And last time I used it, terrestrialization didn't exist, so it'll be a great time. Love you, and see you in round 4. You know, it's kind of funny. The last 2 drafts we've ended up doing have ended up timing out with me going on various trips. So, as of right now, I'm in lovely Flagstaff, Arizona. How beautiful. Look at that field. Wanted to give some thoughts about my team so far, as I've been kind of busy and sync draft goes a lot faster than I remember, so I don't have nearly as much time to think about my my picks. So obviously round 1 went Primal Groudon, great pick, love it, excited to use it. Round 2, Hisui Lilligant, perfect synergy. Round 3, I went for Diancie. Didn't really get to explain that one too much. But mainly Diancie's there because it's a good Trick Room center. Using it with Terra sounds really fun. And it really helps deal with some of the things that Groudon and Lilligant aren't so good at dealing with, namely flying types. Obviously you can hit them with fire moves in the sun, but it's not always going to be possible. So I want to have something good to deal with things that my other 2 guys have troubles dealing with. Additional synergy of additional synergy of Diancie being weak to water is nice, so it helps me out with the Primordial Sun. And also, it's a good fire resist, because if I'm always going to have Sun up, I want to be able to resist fire moves that are coming my way too. And then for round 4, I'm thinking I want to do something that's kind of speedy, because my team so far, besides Lilligant, isn't really the fastest thing around. It's not breaking any records. So for round 4, I want something speedy. First choice is Dragapult. I've never actually used it in doubles. It's always a powerhouse when I'm on. Everybody uses it, ends up getting great value out of it. So fast, so speedy, great move pool, ghost typing, so it's immune to fake out is super, super helpful. Not being able to reduce its stats is also really nice, which also Diancie has, so pretty cool too. But yeah, the combination of speed, ghost typing, and support moves is really, really nice. And Ghost and Dragon is just a really pain in the ass type combo to deal with, especially when I can just freely spam Dragon Darts a lot of the times because hey, you turn into a fairy type, it'll move to the other guy. You turn into a steel type, you get wrecked by Precipice Blades. So yeah, kind of a lose-lose situation you got there. As for backups this round, if I don't get Dragapult, I put in Crobat for kind of the same deal. Fast Mon, immune to fake out, helps me get speed control. Dragapult does that with Thunder Wave, Crobat does it with Tailwind. You know the deal. Crobat is an additional way to deal with fairy types, but I don't think my team's particularly weak to that right now. I'll need to shore it up later, get some steel types or something like that down the line, but we'll come to that later. And if by some nightmare Dragapult and Crobat both get taken, I'm really looking to totally change things up in that case. I have Tapu Fini, I have Mega Sableye locked in for number 3. That's just another support mon. It can be fast thanks to Prankster, Ghost type, so it's immune to fake out, just like the other 2 I talked about. But it has the nice utility of if I do help Diancie set Trick Room with fake out, I can then Mega Evolve and get my speed down to 20, so I can actually do stuff the next turn too. Pretty smooth. But don't think it'll come to that. And my last pick, which I really don't think it'll come to, is just Tapu Fini. It's a water type that works decently well in the sun because it can just use fairy moves instead, and anything that resists fairy is going to get smacked by Groudon. It kind of would pivot my team towards a more slow pace. Definitely has some anti-synergy with Lilligant, but I don't think we're going to get Tapu Fini. It's just kind of a backup to a backup. So long story short, Dragapult's great mon, always good in every format ever. It just has the stats of a winner. So we'll see what we get in a little bit here. I have about an hour and a half left before we got to make the write-ups and send things out. So we'll see. Dragapult, possibly. Crobat, possibly. Other guys, not so much, but we'll see you then. Later. Hey you, long time no see. Last time we checked in, it was round 4, and I was talking about picking Dragapult, which, spoiler, I got. And, oh, my puppy's woofing. And now it's... Now it is like 2 days after that. It was a busy weekend this weekend, so I kind of lost track of doing the drafting IRL in real time. But we'll do a quick little recap. Pick number 5. I wanted something that kind of checked a lot of the boxes that you really want in a restricted format. You want to get some good kind of intimidate user. You definitely want wide guard because of all the crazy legendary spread moves going everywhere. And you want fake out, so you go to showdown, type in the chat /NDS fake out, intimidate, wide guard, and one option comes up, I think, and it's Hitmontop, who is a world champion mon, so you know he's good. So that's what we're adding to the team for number 5, and I say we're adding, I mean I added 2 days ago, but Hitmontop gives us a super value roll compression mon. I was a little scared of picking up again, because the last time I used Hitmontop was season 3, like I think over 4 years ago, and I did really, really bad. But I think that was just because I had a lot to learn back then, and it wasn't really so much Hitmontop's fault as it was me being a not so good drafter. So that was pick number 5. I'll see you in a little bit for pick number 6. I'm gonna record it right after this. Bye. For round 6, I have a pretty solid fast mode on my team built out. We have Dragapult 142 speed. Lilligant in the Desolate Land is, I think, the second fastest chlorophyll guy. Then we have Hitmontop, who's like normal speed. But we want to have kind of a Trick Room mode. Oh, and we already had Diancie, but we want something even slower and another Trick Room setter. And something to help with our type chart. So we went ahead, we looked at what was on the boards, and one of the dilemmas that I was dealing with steel types was that a lot of them have anti-synergy with Groudon because of the super harsh sun makes it from a basically 2x to a 3x weakness, and we don't want that. Also, a lot of them are going to share that ground weakness with Groudon, so again, no bueno. But what we can do is we can pick up who I'm looking at getting for round 6, who I got for round 6, Bronzong, one of the most cracked typing / ability combos in the game. I think if you look at all the mons, I'm one of my calculators, I have it where it ranks all the mons individually based on their defensive profile, and I'm fairly certain Bronzong, if you account for both of its possibilities, has the best defensive typing in the game, better than any Fairy Steels, because none of the Fairy Steels have Levitate and Heat Proof to get rid of their 2 weaknesses. So Bronzong is pretty cracked. Really good Trick Room setter. I used it once before in season 4 a long time ago, and I don't remember much about it. But you know, it's a solid workhorse of a mon. Always puts in a good show. It was also on that Hitmontop World Championship team. Hey, look at that! What a coincidence! It's a good mon. But yeah, Trick Room stuff gives me a steel type for incredible defensive, a good defensive core. Has some really nice utility moves like Gravity, Hypnosis. I believe Bronzong. Yeah, Bronzong gets Hypnosis. Lots of fun stuff. So that's Bronzong for round 6. See you in 1 second after I start recording again. Round 7 arrived sometime yesterday, and I wanted a mon that was a strong, solid attacker on the special side because my team is leading kind of physical right now, and I want something with a great type combo that can do a lot of damage, but also to give a pretty solid defensive backbone. So we went ahead, we picked Zapdos. Pretty good roll compression, honestly, for a 14-point mon. Very solid attacking stats, good move pool. Have lots of nice support moves with Tailwind, Thunder Wave, that kind of thing. Doesn't get Electro Web, which is kind of weird, but you know, everything else Zapdos does is pretty good. I mean, you know what Zapdos does. It's been doing the same thing since 1996. So yeah, spam electric moves, spam flying moves, and get the job done. So that's Zapdos for round 7. I have 1 more to record, and then we'll be actually caught up. See you in a little bit. After Zapdos, it's you know what comes after round 7. It's round 8. For round 8, I am almost completely broke. I have 13 points left, not so good, and I'm still missing a couple key types. And for a while, I was looking at getting Greninja because I really wanted a water type that could work well in the Desolate Land. And earlier in the draft, I was considering picking some others that ended up going. Tapu Fini was one of them, but I went for the Diancie route instead of that. Primarina was another option, but I don't have any points left for that. So another option that looks pretty good is actually Lapras for only 2 points. It has, I think, one of the best stat to point value ratios on the board, so pretty good there. I've used it before. Very solid mon. 85 attacking stats aren't too crazy, but with something as bulky as Lapras, it gets plenty of turns to sit on the field and click moves. Freeze Dry is an amazing stab to have. Freeze Dry plus Water move, hey, if I'm out of the Desolate Land, that's perfect coverage right there. And just gets a good speed tier, good move pool, hit giant Gen 1 move pool again. So that's that. We're finally caught up. Okay, we're finally up to date. Round 8 is complete. Round 9 is incoming quickly. I have 11 points left. I still need to pick a restricted mon. Things are looking a little dicey, but I think we have a plan that can solve all these issues. So, hi kitty. So 1, we need to get something to fill out our type chart a little bit more. We're going to go with a dark type because we need something to deal with the Lunala that exists in our division. And the Necrozma Duskmane, I think. Yeah, Jordan has that. And just general stuff because Ghost looks really, really good into my team and Dragapult can only go so far. So we're looking for a cheap dark type with Taunt because we also don't have Taunt on our team yet. Oops. And who's better than little old Low Kicks? Super cheap mon, 3 points for Tinted Lens, so just click Dark and Bug or whatever. I mean, there's not many things that there's a good bit of things that quad resist Bug, but not much that quad resist Dark, so just Choice Band, Knockoff all day, or Sucker Punch, or First Impression. It always works. So, I think Low Kicks is an important part of the team, and it gives really good priority, which I do have some priority, but you can never have it. Never have too much priority, honestly, so we're going to go for Low Kicks for this round with a backup of Bombardier and then a backup of Houndoom because I just want a dark type and those kind of seem like the best 3 left that I can afford because I need one that was 3 points or lower to make the rest of my draft work, which you'll see very shortly. Kick it back to you probably tomorrow morning, me. Later. Good morning, everybody. It is Tuesday, September 22nd, I think. And we are nearing the very end of the draft. I believe we are at pick 10 coming up here. I have a grand total of, I think, 8 points left. I'm about to spend 7 of them. I have not gotten around to picking my restricted yet. I thought with Primal Groudon it was more important to get other pieces. And then just in general, I think it's probably better in a format like this where the pool of regular mons is so much more contested. I don't know if it actually is mathematically, but it feels like it is, especially because a lot of people want the same kind of things for their teams. So I picked my big bad restricted first and then spent a lot of time working on the other supporting pieces, other mons that I thought were generally good. So now it's time to pick the other restricted, and with really 7 points left to pick from. I guess I could pick Cosmog or Cosmoem and spend 8 on my last guy, but I'm not going to do that. That's a giant waste of money. With my points left, I was also talking with Midbus, so I know they're picking Lugia, which was something I was looking at, but I'm a good sport. I'm not going to steal Lugia from him. What do we have left to choose from? There was a couple things that looked pretty good, mainly considering the options between a couple things. Reshiram, Kyurem White, Zacian, and Kyurem Black. Also Mewtwo. After extensive conversation with myself and others, I kind of roundabout came to the conclusion, which was my conclusion from the beginning, that Zacian is probably the best of those options. Zacian is really good because, it comes in with that free +1 boost. That's amazing. It's like a 280-something attack stat, I think. And then it can also hold an item because it's the boneless Zacian. It's not the good one. So really, it can do more damage right off the rip with like a Choice Band or even a Life Orb, I think. I mean, yeah, those would definitely do more. Mono Fairy is a good type. Fairy has really good synergy with Ground for Pedon. And Zacian is stupid fast. It's not quite as fast as the good Zacian. I don't know why adding armor to it makes it faster. for Zamazenta it makes it slower. So really, it should be faster than the good Zacian, but it's not. But we have a good speed tier with 138, really powerful attacks right off the bat. Has the ability I've seen people run this with special movesets, not necessarily good, but a funny mix-up. I guess you could do that. I don't know why I would do that instead of running Diancie that way, but you know, it's possible. So yeah, we're gonna go with Zacian here. Put Kieran Black as our backup just in case something happens and I get sad because I can't afford anything else. So yeah, Zacian's really good, really fast, really strong, and it learns just enough support moves to warrant a spot on a team doing things besides clicking play rough. You got Howl, you got Snarl, you got got cut off. Yeah, Zacian can do things besides just play rough. It can do Snarl, it can do Howl, it can do Scary Face, and that's enough for me. So I'm going to put in Zacian, hopefully that goes, and then we'll be back for round 11 for a real value steal of a 1-pointer. See you then. Okay, final pick of the draft is here, round 11, and I don't remember if I already mentioned it, but we're going to go with little old Pichu, because it's only 1 point. I only have 1 point left. All the other 1-point mons are absolutely atrocious, and I feel like they're even worse than normal. And like, I don't think I would ever actually probably bring my 1-pointer, so I'll go through the board and see if there's anything else that looks good to like hard counter a certain matchup that I have to go do, but ultimately, it's looking like it's probably going to be Pichu, man. It's 1 point. It has Follow Me. It has Fake Out. It even has Lightning Rod for inherent redirection for the electric weaknesses that nothing on my team has. But ultimately, I think that's going to be the plan unless I find some super giga value, which again is probably pretty unlikely. But yeah, that's the end of the draft. Overall, I think it was a pretty hectic experience. Sync goes really fast. I mean, the last draft we did took like a week and a half, it felt like, and this one was over in the course of like 4 or 5 days. So it's definitely, you got to do a lot of quick thinking, which I like to take my time sometimes. So quick thinking, if you can tell by me never playing with timer on, quick thinking is something that I try to avoid, but you know, we make do with what we got. I think the team's looking pretty good. If I have any other final thoughts, I'll kind of summarize them maybe later when I'm not at work. But that's that. Probably Pichu for round 11. See you then.